Welcome to our tutorial about the Dynamic User Coordinate System, or UCS, in the 3D environment. Let's start by creating a box. First corner. The second corner, I'll make it 5, tab 5, press Enter, and let's left-click to set the height, something like this. Let's rotate my box a little bit. Right now, my box sits on the XY plane. Let's rotate again and zoom out. Pan left. Now what if I want to create some more complex geometry than the primitives allow? Let's say I want to place another primitive on top of this box. How can I do that? Of course, like almost everything in AutoCAD, there's many ways to do the same thing. We can select a plane or face and start drawing there. Here's the toggle for Dynamic UCS. Let's activate it to allow Dynamic UCS. Now let's bring in a pyramid. Go to the Primitives drop-down menu, scroll down to Pyramid. I'm prompted for a center point. Let's mouse over some of the faces of the box. As you can see, they're highlighted with that dotted line. With the face selected, left-click to place the center point on that face. Let's put it right here. Next click sets the radius, and the third click the height. And now I've placed a pyramid on top of my box. Let's undo. Okay, let's try that again, but this time with a little more precision. Activate the pyramid. We're prompted for a center point. Let's hold down the Shift key and right-click, scroll to mid between 2 points. I'm prompted for the first point. But first, I've got to make the face where I want to sketch active. I do it by mousing into the primitive. I can select the midpoint from the outside, but my face is not active. Now you see that it's highlighted. Now that the face is active, let's snap to that midpoint. And now let's snap to the midpoint on the other side. So our pyramid center point is determined. Now let's set the base radius. I'm going to snap to this midpoint. And third click sets our height. And voila, my pyramid is right on top of my box, with the base the same size as the top face of the box. If you haven't worked in wireframe in 3D, it can seem kind of confusing at first. We can try a different visual style. For example, let's say realistic. And now it's easier to distinguish what's what. But I prefer working in 2D wireframe, so let's go back to that. Let's reorient using a view cube corner. I'm going to put a second pyramid on the bottom of this box. Activate the pyramid command. Now shift right-click and select mid between 2 points. Let's activate the bottom face of the box. It's now highlighted with a dotted line. Now let's select this midpoint and this midpoint. There's our center point. Snap to this midpoint to set the base radius. Third click sets our height. And let's rotate our model a little bit. Okay, let's place a cylinder now. Center point, base radius, height. I'm going to place a cone now on the top and bottom of the cylinder. Let's activate the cone command. Again, shift and right-click, scroll to mid between 2 points. Activate the plane, snap to this quadrant, and snap to this quadrant. Snap to quadrant again for the base radius, and third click sets the height. Let's click the bottom corner of the view cube to reorient our model. And let's place a second cone. Again, right-click, mid between 2 points. Activate the plane, snap to quadrant. For the second point, snap to the opposing quadrant. Base radius, snap to quadrant again. And third click sets our cone height. And we've successfully placed our second cone. Let me rotate the model a little bit. And let's switch to a realistic view style. And this concludes our tutorial about using the Dynamic User Coordinate System, or Dynamic UCS.